Nothing's more hateful
I don't know what this is.
than failing to protect the one you love.
This Game of Thrones.
The show is my life!
Oh, you guys! Heard a lot of hype about this. I have no idea what it is, though.
Avenge them.
She's gonna be so badass.
I don't think Sansa's such a wimp.
I don't do blood.
I believe men of talent have a part to play in the war to come.
I will never sit on the Iron Throne.
Tyrion is amazing.
You could help another climb those steps and take that seat.
Sweet, dude. I love this show.
I don't even know what Jon Snow's gonna do. He doesn't know much anyway. But
I'm not going to stop the wheel. I'm going to break the wheel.
The show's probably like the best for strong female characters.
Some monsters out there somewhere drawing breath.
if they kill Tyrion, we riot.
And this?
Oh, Arya.
Oh, Maisie Williams.
The Seven Kingdoms needs a ruler loved by millions.
Good luck finding him.
Who said anything about him?
I just wanted to conquer Westeros. Softcore porn.
I keep meaning to watch this. I really need to now.
Action-packed as always.
Seems pretty intense. I'm so excited.
Game of Thrones!
So you just watched the trailer for the new season of a television show.
Game of Thrones. Wait, it's a TV show? I thought it was a movie.
Do you like the show?
I have never seen it.
I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
I do.
I love it.
I love it. I am in love with Game of Thrones. This is my favorite show of all time!
Talk about why it's this amazing show.
Oh my gosh, there's so many emotions.
I like that there's so many stories.
Violence, sex, and dragons. How much better can that get?
It's got everything a nerd could want. If you love the fantasy genre, this is your show.
Why have you not watched Game of Thrones?
When I look at it, it's like, it doesn't really pop out to me like it does to other people.
Those type of shows I don't really get super into.
I don't support, like, the pornification or softcore porn. It's just more of a personal thing where I kind of have to draw lines at some points, and that's one of them.
So we're now going to show you some of the characters of the show.
Okay.
Just from the picture, I want you to just briefly describe what you think that character is all about.
Okay.
I know all the characters.
He kind of looks like the Prince Charming.
The Prince Charming.
Jamie Lannister, guy likes to screw his sister.
He did incest with his sister.
First, I thought he was a dick, but then I felt bad for him. Then I realized, wait, he's still a super
And who do you think this is?
The pretty one.
The one that they secretly fall in love with.
It seems like she thinks she's higher than you.
That's incestual sister.
Nobody likes Cersei.
I hate her.
I don't like her.
She's kind of a bitch. I mean, that's pretty much her character. Everyone freaking hates her. I think like she's so powerful.
What do you think of this character?
He looks like the one that's probably more underestimated.
I feel like he's a good character, but he looks sad in most of his pictures.
He always has the same face.
Jon Snow, I believe. I know a lot. I promise you I don't watch this show.
I like Jon Snow.
You know nothing. He's great. He's one of the better characters.
I want to call him Stark, but that's not his real name. We all know what every lady thinks of him. Oh, Jon Snow.
Not my type.
Oh, Ned Stark. This is sad. Rest in peace, Ned.
This is, Boromir.
I think he got his head chopped off.
The first time where I've actually seen a show kill off the main character, I was just like, what? Sean Bean, why you die all the time?
It lets you know, like, this isn't gonna be your typical show.
What about this character?
The leader? Or the wise one?
I'm sad he died.
I have very mixed feelings about the Colin the Khaleesi, because like he freaking raped her, and then we ended up like loving them as a couple.
Next.
The feisty, like, tough one.
Was she on Teen Act before?
My favorite character.
Arya Stark, total badass.
That is the most badass character I've seen.
She's one of the most powerful characters on the entire show, and I love her.
Next.
Oh, she's pretty. She looks like a mermaid.
She looks like Elsa.
Probably doesn't do much fighting.
She's definitely my favorite female character of all time.
My favorite, Khaleesi.
Daenerys Stormborn Targaryen, Mother of Dragons, the Liberator, Breaker of Chains.
She goes from this nice little girl to this girl who's the leader of an army.
I think her downfall is going to be that she aspires to help everyone, and like this past season, she really learned that she can't.
What do you think of him?
Oh, he's cute.
Get a bully vibe from him, is that right?
And this piece of shit.
I can't look at his face without getting upset.
That is Joffrey.
The incest child who gets killed. I don't know how I remember these clips, but I promise you don't watch this show.
When he died, I mean, it was just like, oh, thank God.
And one more character.
Tyrion.
I love Tyrion so much.
I feel like he probably has a bunch of one-liners.
Best character ever in any show.
There are a lot of characters who kind of have one singular place where I feel like they belong, and I like that he's a little more fluid.
He's like the perfect example that it doesn't matter. Like, you can be like a really good actor no matter what you look like.
truth.
And what has been one of your favorite moments in the show so far?
It's Tyrion's trial.
When Joffrey died.
Season 4, Episode 9, The Battle of the Wall. That entire episode is amazing.
When Arya was getting trained, and then she's got to run, and her trainer has to fight off like 6 guys, and it was really cool because it never showed him dying, but like you knew, and it was like, no, why? He was so cool.
So, without massive detail, the show takes place in a fictional kingdom where there are many different houses who have been ruled by a king, but after he dies, many different people try to claim rights to the throne.
Game of Thrones, okay, all right.
And there's family and relationship drama, politics, battles, murder, incest, giant wolves, and even dragons.
Okay.
See, that sounds awesome.
What else would you like to add?
Naked ladies everywhere.
Tone down the nudity a little bit, but you can't because it's HBO, and like, that's their selling point.
Does this sound like a good show?
Yeah. I might have to watch it now.
I want to watch it now, but I can't. I don't have HBO.
Strong female protagonist, dragon queen, giant wolves. Are you serious? You have no idea how hard it is. It has all this great stuff, and yeah, it's this one little thing that's part of it, but like to me, it's important that I like uphold my, you know, my morals.
One of the major elements that makes the show different is that no character is safe.
That's another thing I've heard, and that's another reason why I haven't watched it.
I love that. Attack on Titan does that really well.
I think that's really interesting. It kind of like changes your thought process like throughout watching it.
Standard hero films, they will get out of it because he's Superman. But here, if you get weaved into a web of probably gonna die.
You really have no idea. Like, this could be the last episode your favorite character is in, which is kind of fun because then it's like everything that happens has more meaning.
So this whole entire series is based on a book series called A Song of Ice and Fire.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, George R.R. Martin.
It's not called Game of Thrones?
The first book is called Game of Thrones, and it was published all the way back in 1996.
Jeez, that's older than I am.
Wow, that's when I was born.
I'd like to see it though, because a book won't get me screaming at the book.
I just started reading the books, and then they made a show, and my dad wouldn't let me watch the show. Do you know, like, the books are equally as explicit as the show? So then I started watching the show. My dad and I watch it together, and there is like a ridiculous amount of nudity. I either have to talk so much that it's embarrassingly awkward, or like I say nothing and I just stare at the screen, which is like just as bad. Like, then it looks like I'm really into it. It's so bad watching it with him.
The series is not finished yet. They're still needing to write at least 1, if not 2 more books. And the series is starting to catch up to the book series. So they've already seemed to have said they're going to be changing things for the first time drastically from the book. What do you think about that decision to do that?
Well, the author should be getting on it.
I mean, they don't really have a choice.
That's deadly. You could ruin everything.
I don't like that idea. I feel like they should just like slow the show down a bit.
If you want to keep a fan base like so involved, you should stick to like the books.
I'm skeptical, but I know that they had George R.R. Martin tell them the ending. In case he dies for some whatever reason that they know how to finish it off.
They do that all the time with anime too. It's a 50-50. It could turn out really great or really messed up.
So finally, why, even if they don't usually like action fantasy genre, why is Game of Thrones still a show that people should watch?
Whether you don't like fantasy or not, even though it's a fantasy world, the politics seem real. The fights, even though they're not actual history, there's history behind them within the lore.
I feel like everyone should give it a chance.
Sure, it takes place in a fantasy element, but it's not all fantasy. The story just keeps you gripped better than any other show.
Watch to the end of the first episode of season 1 and you will see why. You will want to keep watching the rest of the series. It's so good.
Thank you for watching this episode of Teens React.
There are new episodes every single week, so make sure you're subscribed.
Goodbye. Hey, just watch the damn show.